I like I just have such a limited amount of time. Like I get 1 hour once a week to do my stuff. I don't have time to do anything fancy. I don't have to like I can somewhat prepare beforehand, but I don't have time to do all that extra stuff. So like my style is a certain way because of certain factors.
This episode of Ken's Nearest Neighbors is powered by Z by HP, HP's high compute workstation grade line of products and solutions. I also want to give a special shout out to Bright Data. They are sponsoring the Bright Data House this week, allowing all of us creators to come together and have quite a bit of fun. Today, I am interviewing two of my favorite data analysts, data analytics manager, among other things.
Who's your favorite
YouTubers.
data analyst YouTuber?
I would like to think that it's Shashank Kalanithi.
Wow.
But he's a data engineer now.
I knew he was going to get the win.
You guys are all my favorites in different ways.
Oh, that's something like a mom would say. Thank you. I appreciate
Well,
that.
Alex is incredibly fun to banter with. Luke, you're unbelievably fun to create content with, and we have so much fun planning and working on video designs and all those types of things. So you both bring very unique value to my life in different ways.
Thanks, Mom.
That's super sweet.
Yeah.
We love you.
So I want to start things off. Obviously, we're here with a bunch of different people, a bunch of different backgrounds, data engineers, MLOps engineers, data scientists, data analysts, managers, whatever you might think. What has your experience been like just talking with these different people? Is it something that is fundamentally different from what you see in work? Or are you just feeling like you have the same conversations about the same issues over and over again, just with different people?
I work with a lot of different developers, data engineers, data scientists at work. So like I have a pretty good idea of what kind of work conversations go on. Being here, it's more like we're talking about being content creators, being entrepreneurs or audiences and how to interact with them, how to use our data. It's just different conversations that you'd ever have in like the workplace. We have had some where we're like talking about actual workplace issues or like issues with data in the workplace. But how we've interacted like with everyone here is very much like, I don't know, it's just very, very unique because we're all creating content and trying to help people learn this field and learn this area. So yeah, I think it's quite different than how I interact or talk with people like at work.
What do you think, Luke?
Exact same. Next question.
Nailed it.
And I guess sort of going along that line, it feels like from a work aspect, it's always we're talking about problems and how to and just the problems having. As we're here, we're talking about more, which I like it a lot because we're talking more about how do you solve those problems for different problems that you may have, whether it's data analytics, YouTube, data science, whatever it may be. So it's a different frame in how we're, I guess, going about and our conversations are. When I think it's completely different than what I have normally day to day.
Awesome. Yeah, I think in work we can sort of get into echo chambers where everyone is facing the same problems, and it's nice to have this outside perspective, like, oh, this is how it is in my company, or, oh, we do it a completely different way. Even in our content too, right? We see, oh, like Alex does it this way, Luke does it this way, I do it this really strange way. Why was I doing it that way for so long, right?
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, well, I mean, even with like the audio video setup, I mean, like Alex, we were talking about different tools, and you're like, oh my goodness, like this is.
I have learned so much in the past. Like I have learned an enormous amount in the past 2 days from everybody because they're like, I use this tool to do editing. I use this type of equipment, and I'm like, guys, I'm like on a shoestring budget over here. Like I'm using like the worst equipment out of everyone. So I'm learning like, hey, I need to upgrade in certain areas. So in that aspect, huge learning opportunity from everybody here.
Well, we're pretty early in, but what's the most interesting thing that you've learned or observed so far?
You go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
I thought you were like ready.
I'm just coming out of the woodwork.
I would say I'm learning a lot about how people create their content. So like I was just talking with Luke this morning about his process and how he makes his content, which is like just completely. We're just talking about our differences in our styles, which I've talked to a lot of other people about. Like mine is, I like I just have such a limited amount of time. Like I get 1 hour once a week to do my stuff. I don't have time to do anything fancy. I don't have to like I can somewhat prepare beforehand, but I don't have time to do all that extra stuff. So like my style is a certain way because of certain factors. Whereas like Luke was saying, like he has a lot of time to like really make it good. Like all the nice edits, learn all these things, and constantly making improvements. And so I've just learned a lot of different people's style and how they create their content, which has opened up. I mean, genuinely, I was just texting my wife about this morning or last night and this morning about how I was like, I'm learning so much about how people do things, which is really broadening like my perception of how I should be doing my own stuff. Like I'm like, man, you know what? That's way better than what I'm doing. I need to do that. Like I just need to incorporate that aspect to make my stuff better.
Amazing. What do you think, Luke?
Yeah, I just showed up yesterday, so.
Oh, yeah, you're early, but you've also got one of these under your belt,
right? Exactly. And I think I guess the biggest thing that I take away is, sometimes I'll be working in my silo and just going through struggles like mentally or the problems I encounter. It's like, sometimes you just feel like you're attacking this on your own and nobody else has these similar problems to you. But it's very like we had the conversation this morning talking about how you were trying to balance family with work and also YouTube. And it's just like, it's like comforting to hear that you go through pain, but it's like
I love it.
It is. It's like, yes, Alexianos is suffering. Yes.
It really invigorated you. I could tell you were like kind of amped afterwards.
Just. But it's sort of like, oh, okay, like everybody's human. They're going through struggles. They're and encountering their own problems. It's interesting to hear what problems people are facing in their own personal lives, and that they have these struggles as well. And so it's like sort of like motivating to me after I leave here. I'm sure, and the last time it was motivating as well to have that in mind, that it's not just my feeling of this.
Yeah, I had the exact same thoughts as well.
I really love that so much. I mean, outside looking in, I think one of the biggest problems with content creation, with social media, any of these platforms, is you see the work people produce. You don't necessarily see what goes on behind the scenes. And now here we strip it all back, but it's like, oh, I've got like kids. I have this 2-hour period where I can record.
That's it.
Like I have all this other stuff going on. I have work, I have whatever it is, and it's like, I know now that everyone else is struggling with the same things that I am. Mm-hmm. You just don't see that part until it's actually out there. Like the creative block or any of these things, it's like, man, I haven't scripted something in this long, but it's like, Ken over here hasn't done that either.
Right. Oh, I don't feel so bad.
Yeah, it's like, Ken started like 8 scripts and didn't finish any of them, because I love the planning and like the starting the script, and I start writing and I'm like, I don't like this.
Delete.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I think that's something that's pretty unique to this scenario in content, because at work you see your coworkers working, and that to me is intimidating too, because like, wow, they're working 4 hours straight and I can't sit still for more than 25 minutes. How do I reconcile this in my mind?
Yeah.
But here, I mean it is hard. It's creative, it's self-driven, and you don't necessarily get that exposure into other people as often. Something I'm interested in, especially between the two of you. So Alex, you have a very systemized routine, right? And it works really well in terms of serving your audience and those types of things. And obviously you do as well. But there is always this battle between getting content out there and innovation. Luke, I know you are constantly trying to push the boundaries of what you can make within, largely from a film perspective, right? Like how do I shoot this in this different angle? How do I add this other flair to it? How do you balance those things? I know we both struggle with this. It's like, you want to do all these things, and it's like, this is a 10-minute video. I can't do all these things, right, or I can't get it out there. How do each of you navigate that? Because it seems like you're kind of coming from very different places in that frame. Like, tried and true, it works. You're like, I know this works, but I want to explore. I want to expand on this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess I'll start. So I actually, it's really interesting with that aspect of how I sort of go about tackling. Is very similar to like what I would do with like a data project, because I find the way I do it, I try to overcomplicate things in life, just in general. So a data project, I'm going after it, and like, okay, I only need to just do this web scraper of LinkedIn, and I'm like, oh, but it would be nice if I just add like this extra feature. Maybe I can build out a GUI for it, or maybe I can do this for it. And then it's just like, okay, what is the main goal in mind? And so that's what happens with me with YouTube. I always find myself, okay, I want to make this video on how I use Excel, and I start out real basic, and then I start just adding more stuff, and then eventually, every single time it happens, I just overcomplicate it completely. I usually have like some sort of like breakdown, and I'm like, whatever, I'm done. I'm gonna go mountain bike and go jump some jumps and like have a glass of wine. Anyway, I usually at that point reflect. I'm like, okay, what do I need for my core goals? And I sort of just scale back from there, and then just aim for the finish line to finish it. So yeah, I think it has a lot of synergies actually with data projects of just not overcomplicating it and scaling back to get to your goal.
That's awesome.
So you said you start with like the basics and you add on from there.
Yeah.
That's where I stop. Like, I do like, we were just talking about this morning. Is like, because of my schedule and my lifestyle, I have no time. Like, I have extremely limited time to do YouTube. Like, I can maybe dedicate like 5-6 hours a week, maybe, like if I'm really lucky. And so depending on the week, like that's all I could get is 2 hours. So I don't have the bandwidth to do anything fancy. I wish I could, because I really respect how Luke does things, because it's really good and it's captivating, and he has all these cuts and all these things. Like, if I could do that, I probably would. I just, don't have the time to like learn it, and 2, like trying to also do that for every video sounds so intimidating. So with like my style, it really is, I just try to get to the core of it, and that's kind of as far as I go. But I try to make it, I try to speak in like layman's terms. As I'm talking with Forrest this morning, I'm like, we try to speak in layman terms. I can't get
What's a layman? No, I'm just kidding.
I can't get fancy with it because I don't have the bandwidth. Hopefully one day I will have the bandwidth to go a little bit more in depth. But I also feel like, we have, within this small niche, we have our niche. Like, he has his niche, I have my niche, and they're both successful. So like, I don't really feel an urge to go out there and really like target his audience, or like the people who really like his stuff, because I'm like, look, they really like him, he's doing a great job. I don't need to do that because I have my niche, right? My niche within a niche. Like, my simplicity is like what people like about me, so that if I try to go target his audience, the people who liked my content before are like, dude, you're trying to be Luke, and I don't want that. Let Luke be Luke. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm letting Luke be Luke, Alex be Alex, and I think a lot of it has been driven by just, I just, that's my life. Like, I can't change that right now. So I don't really have that opportunity to do it. So I'm going to keep it tried and true, stick with what I know. Yeah.
That's interesting that we have like that dynamic too. It's like me, like, because that causes barriers on both sides. You have very limited time for it. Me, I have a little bit more time, but then because I have that more time, I like oh, I got a couple weeks I can do this, and then like 3 months later I have a video. I'm like, so it's it can have its negatives and its positives.
Yeah, well, I Luke, you brought up a really cool parallel to sort of the data process before. And I think whenever we're approaching a problem in data, a problem in life, we have to look very specifically at our own constraints. And like, one of your constraints is time, right? And one of your constraints is like, there are these things that I want to integrate to a video. There's this like level of like, not that like you guys both have incredibly high standards of quality, but there's this something that I want to hit, and that shapes the way that you do your process, right? And building on that, that's the way that your channels have evolved, the style that you've evolved, the thing that makes your videos yours. And I think that's like a pretty exciting thing for both of you, is that you don't have to worry about, how do I like become, like, how do I make my own style? In some sense, on a lot of things, your style comes to you based on your unique situations.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, and it's kind of like you develop like a habits, like it's like a processes and procedures, right? You just like, I know, here's my process. Like, I turn on these lights, I have my script, I have my video, I record, I edit, I have like, I know everything I'm going to do ahead of time. Like, nothing is really, like, I don't have Luke's problem of like, I have all these ideas, I can't implement them. So like, my process is so simple, And so I could do it blindfolded now. Like it's very, very straightforward, simple. I've got it. Like I got it on lock. So yeah, it's nice that it's nice to have that, because like in any aspect of your life, when you build those habits, it becomes easier and it becomes more fluid.
Yeah, let's all actually talk about our process. I think that's something that's really interesting. Something I've asked a lot of you about. I mean, so when you approach, I think that there's good corollaries to data problems as well. I approach a video almost the same way I approach a data problem. I am like I script everything. I then have more recently been scripting out all the B-roll I want to shoot. The part that it breaks down for me is I don't have a consistent place that I shoot. Right, I was shooting in my bedroom for a while, and there's just like limited space. I've been trying other places, and so that's like one wrinkle that like it doesn't cause me stress, but it causes some some friction in my creation process. Because I know both of you guys, it's like I flip on all my lights at the same time. I sit down and the shot's perfect.
Yeah.
I've established it.
Exactly.
And that for me is something I would really like to get better at. But I also am like, I want to be in new locations. I want it to be like funky and fun.
Yeah. You again, your style is different. Like he has a place, a dedicated room at his desk with his monitors. Like, I mean, that's his style. That's his thing. But with you, it's your style and thing is like different shots and being more eclectic and like having that is your style, right?
Yeah, so my style is just like having weird shit around.
But if you tried to go and set up something exactly like either of us, you'd be like, that's not your style. People would be like, why stop being an Alex? Like, stop being you have your own brand, you have your own kind of identity and what you've built,
Yeah, I'm gonna make a video in your theme and then in one of your themes. And just
do it, man. That'd be
Hi,
great.
I'm Alex the Analyst. Welcome back.
What's going on, everybody? That's literally how every single one of my, like I have people will type that in the comments, like because I do the exact same thing every single time. Because again, it's that consistency.
Oh yeah.
I do it the same way every time.
Well,
and you have your data nerds thing, right? Like it's just like every time.
So I used to do that and I stopped for some reason. I don't know why. I used to be like, what's
What'd
up,
you
guys?
used to say?
Ken back with another video,
Oh, okay.
some stuff like that.
That's literally what I do.
I do at the same end, like good luck on your data science journey.
Yeah.
But we all know how many people actually watch till the end, so.
I watched to the end.
Well, I know you're one of the yeah. Alex is like, I've got the gist. But I always put Easter eggs at the end of my videos.
Do you? That's what I do too.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Z by HP, HP's high compute, workstation grade line of products and solutions. Z is specifically made for high performance data science solutions, and I personally use the ZBook Studio and the Z4 workstation. I really love that Z workstations can come standard with Linux, and they can be configured with the data science software stack. With the software stack, you can get right to work doing data science on day one without the overhead of having to completely reconfigure your new machine. Now back to our show.
Yeah,
So
that
you
was
get
cool.
the benefit.
Have you guys ever watched like one of my long form content?
You do the vegetables?
Absolutely never.
Yeah.
Because at the very end of every single one of my long form content, I say, hey, if you watch to the end, put in the chat a vegetable, and I tell them a vegetable to put in there. I don't know why. I know how it started. It was completely like off the cuff, but now it's become like its own things. Like in all of those videos, you'll see a bunch of people are like, onions, we love you, man, onions. And I'm like,
Well, how do you define a vegetable?
if I Google vegetable list and it's on that list. That's literally what I do to choose the vegetable beforehand.
So vegetable is not scientific, dude. You got to go fruits instead.
That's
one of the reasons I love
I'm actually
pie.
running out of vegetables. Like because I've done like 30.
Oh, so you're like, so you say like,
I might have to switch.
so you say the specific vegetable comment.
Yes, I say, hey, comment below bok choy or comment below beets or like that's what and so that's like my ending Easter egg kind of
I
thing.
obviously have never watched all the way to the end of one of your videos. So
Come on, man. This is
I don't watch the end of my videos.
Okay,
that's a lie.
yeah.
bro.
I mean, I get
Got to
it.
pump my own watch time hard.
Yeah. My videos are like can get long. Like yours, like I can do like 45 minutes an hour sometimes, which is a long time to keep people's attention, especially when it's just talking.
So
by yourself.
That's why I switched to the podcast format on
Yeah.
a different channel and those types of things. I found that the longer ones were hurting my metrics. Is that something you've thought of at all? Or is it just like, I have all this in one place, it works really well? Like,
I saw that you had done that. I considered it for like 2 seconds, and I was like, that sounds like a lot of work. I don't have the time for that. So then I didn't, and I kept it on my channel, and I think there's a healthy balance because some of my long form content does very well. Like one of my, I have one that has like 300,000 views. That's like one of my long form content, and some that have like 50, 60, 80, 100. And I'm like, okay, it's not like they're flopping. They're not getting like 1,000 views, whereas all my other videos are like 20, 50, 100. That would have been like, I would have felt bad. But you know, there's a healthy balance, and I feel like my short content is more geared toward learning. Here's what you learn. My long form content is geared towards people who want to learn something more in depth and just hear my thoughts on it, and then at the end get to know me more personally. Those are more like if you want to kind of, if you like for whatever reason, like you actually like Alex and you're like, I want to learn Alex's thoughts on the subject. That's why I do it. It's not I don't recommend it for everyone. Like most of my other videos, I'm like, if you're into data analytics, you need to watch these. These are great. But those long form ones, I'm like, they're not as important. Like they're just for fun. If you want to hang out, talk with Alex, just drink some coffee and like hang out. It's more like a hangout video.
Interesting. Have you thought of just doing more live streams? I feel like that's even less effort.
I've done I'm so bad at live streams. Have you ever seen one?
Yeah,
you've joined in. They're the lowest quality. I am not good at them. I do them for like when I hit like milestones, like 250. I just did one like a couple weeks ago. That's the only...
exactly what I do. I do every 50K.
Exactly.
And then people like leave after. Like it's like, oh, I hit 250K. Now I'm at 249K because I did this live stream.
All right, let's do another 250K live stream.
Oops.
Yeah.
So you just wait like a couple weeks after, and you're like, all right, we got some padding. We got some cushion. Like, we'll be all right.
Basically.
Nice. That's something I in terms of live streaming, I only like the live stream if there's a group. It's intimidating for me to hold attention for that long. Yeah. I also don't like responding to like chat versus people. Like the forums we do here, I could do that every day. Mm-hmm. It's just like, oh, we're all talking. We can ask questions. I can moderate. Mm-hmm. It's so easy. Although I was getting roasted for being on my phone the whole time, and I was just reading the questions from the chat. So today, I'm gonna let people know that
was actually me. I was on my phone roasting you on your phone.
Yeah, Alex was just like, Ken, why do you talk so funny, dude? You've got a big zit on your nose, dude. Just...
Yeah, no, that was me for sure.
Nice. What about you? Are you ever gonna live stream, Luke? You enjoyed it when we were with Tina.
I mean, it's exhilarating the live stream because like the study with Tina, like going on there and like people react, respond real time. You like feel like a star. It's like,
pretty cool.
It's like a dopamine. I just no for now. Probably not.
Never. What's your reason for not doing it? Because I mean, like you said, you get a lot of engagement. You get a lot of like. What's your reason for not doing it? Is just the time invested in it, or you don't want to come up with the content for it?
I don't want to come up with the content for it. I'm afraid it's going to be distracting. I want to stick to. We talked about time lengths, and I want to stick to 8 to 15 minute videos in that range, and I want to put as much information and quality to like provide somebody information in the least amount of time as possible. And that's like my ultimate goal, because I've been wasted so much of my time just like watching stuff that wasn't important. And so I think that's also why I'm sort of apprehensive about live streams. I'm afraid I'm going to like not provide,
waste an hour of someone's life.
Yeah, waste an hour of somebody's life, and it's like I don't want to. I don't want to do that.
In terms of wasting someone's life, I find that's one of the biggest challenges I have of YouTube is you want to incentivize for watch time, right? Because the more people watch your videos, the more it gets recommended. But the problem with that is that means you make a more convoluted message than it necessarily could have been. Mm-hmm. Like I could make every single one of my videos like a minute and a half. I'd say like, these are what you need to know. This is what's important or whatever it is. I mean, that wouldn't be fun for me, but I could get all that information. I guess that's what like TikTok and these types of things are for. Right, yeah. But at the same time, it's like, I don't think that incentive structure is good for information processing. Right. It's not good for conveying information in the most effective way. Yeah. And I struggle with that literally every day. I'm like, could I have said this shorter? Yes. But I also like telling stories. I obviously like talking for hours at a time, so maybe that's okay.
Yeah, like my how to become a data analyst video this year, somebody like probably one of the most hurtful comments I got was somebody was like, this video, you could have said this in like a minute. And I was like, ow. I was like, because it was like a 12-minute video or something. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but like you said, if you only do a minute and a half, people are going to listen to it and forget it within a minute and a half. usually if you go a little bit more in depth, you talk about the logic and the reasoning and the behind the scenes, like here's why you need to learn it. Like you do a lot of that where it's like, I learned Excel in my job. Here are the exact reasons why I learned Excel and how I've used Excel. Those videos do really well because people want to know the reason, and that gives them motivation to actually learn it.
Also includes
and
a
do it.
story, and then the story helps build it in and learn it that much easier.
Exactly.
Like the minute you just, yeah.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. And there's generally, I mean, obviously, content is flowing more that direction. You see reels on Instagram, you see shorts, you see a lot of these things. For me, it's actually intimidating to make those because I do want to go in depth. That's fun for me. What do you guys see in terms of that? Are you ever going to start these reels? Are you going to start these TikToks? Like, what's the future for you on that front?
Warming up my dance moves still. Bye.
Ian, one of the masterminds behind Learn Media, is shipping out.
Oh, get in the camera.
Yeah,
You gotta get down
you can
some.
wave.
You gotta get down some. Oh, right there. Oh, yeah, you're in. You're in.
But
You're heading out right now.
Yeah. Since I don't produce a whole lot of content, it was mostly about meeting all these wonderful people
It
and
was super nice to meet you.
getting to know everyone a little better.
Ian
that
keeps
when
us in mind.
So then when I send out the payments, you're like, oh, that's who sent me my money.
exactly.
And,
Well, thank
yeah,
you.
no. So better to get home to the family and stay married than continue to hang out and not produce content.
There you go.
Yeah, you got a break. Never hurts. I know it's going to rain and pour when you get back, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. All right. Well, thank you for everything, Ian. I wish I could take you to the airport. I feel like
It's
I should
all
have
right.
planned
I
better
have
for
an
that.
Uber coming. It's not a
Okay.
big deal.
Amazing. Well, all right. We will
Sorry,
get
I
back
can't
next
cook
year.
more for you guys. But
It's okay.
see you, everybody.
Have a good one. Oh. We're talking about short form content.
Short
and
form
if you ever
content.
plan to do
And
it.
so 30 second to 1 minute. I experimented it.
You tried TikTok?
So I actually, before my YouTube, back when I was only around 100 or so subscribers on YouTube, I was like, man, this YouTube's not working out. Went to TikTok, posted some TikToks or whatever. That's what kids do. They post TikToks. And I went like mini viral with one of my posts or a couple of my videos. And it was like pretty exhilarating. But anyway, it sort of motivated me to get back to TikTok. So where am I going with that story? I don't know. Yes, I would like to, but I want to make sure that it matches my content on YouTube so that way they're getting a similar experience. And it's just, I've tried to do it in the past, and it sort of gets as a detractor to my main YouTube videos. So I would love to do it, but I need help. I need like an editor. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not hip with that Gen Z stuff. Like I can't. It doesn't make sense to me. I understand it. I understand it. I've done a lot of research on like how.
You are practically Gen Z.
Yeah, I'm like on the cusp. But like I understand how it all works, and I get it. I totally understand it. But I can't bring myself to do it. Like I'm just like, that's just for like the younger kids. Like that's just not where I'm at. Like I feel like I don't know. That's just not the one. That's not the kind of style that I want. Like I don't like that short form, here and gone kind of content. I like something that's more engaging. You get to know them personally. Like I don't know. That to me is much more exciting. Like I've always said, like if my channel stayed small, I would still be doing this because I love connecting with just a few people. Now I get to connect with a lot of people, but I just feel like I wouldn't connect with people as much on TikTok or any other short form content. I would say that's the biggest, that and like I just think it's for the younger kids. Those are like the two biggest reasons I'm not going to do it, besides Shashank like putting us on TikTok the other day. That was my first time ever on TikTok.
Check that out. Shashanka made a great TikTok of actually quite a few of us.
Yeah.
You know, something that I struggle with related to the shorter form content is scale. Like you have to produce so much.
Constant.
It's very consistent. It's like bang, bang, bang,
Daily.
get it out there. And as I've taken on more things, probably more things than I should, I've realized I need to make all the things that I do more scalable. And, you know, a video I can produce in a reasonable amount of time while doing other things. The short form content, it's just a grind for me.
Yeah.
And that's something I recognized in my life that I can't do and maintain everything else going. So I would ask you guys, I would actually like some advice from two of my, I don't know how you say like peers.
Yeah.
Like I also look at you guys as mentors in some way, and like
Fellow
some
creators.
but I am constantly taking on new things. I am geared towards novelty and innovation, and that really hurts a lot of the areas of my life because I'm like, oh, I did that already. I don't need to keep doing that. How would you reconcile the desire to do something new and experiment with the actual need to like build something and continue to grow and continue to cultivate what you currently have?
We were kind of talking about this morning with Forrest. We were basically saying, do you want to try a newsletter? Do you want to try a Discord? Do you want to go on Twitter? Go
Tried
on Instagram?
all of them. That's
it's
the problem.
you can go on and try it, but in the end, what we were kind of just discussing was you need to find something that works for you. Like you can't do everything, and if you try to do everything, you won't do anything well. So like, if you want a good product, a good brand, to grow and connect with your audience, find what you do really well, be very good at that, and then once you feel comfortable doing like that, try something new and experiment with it, but don't take on everything at once and try to do it, because again, we've all been like doing that and trying it. It's like it's overwhelming. It's like I can't maintain all these things. Like it's impossible. Or I need like help. Like I need to hire somebody to help with. It's like I don't want to do that. So yeah, I mean that's like my only advice would be you already have you're doing great on YouTube. Like YouTube is a great thing. You do LinkedIn, you do a few other stuff, right? Once just hone in on that and then do like one thing at a time. Like don't take on 3-4 things at a time.
See, that's the challenge. So like for basically a year, like my job was pretty slow. So all I was focusing on was YouTube, and I grew an amazing amount. It was like a great, incredible creative time. My mental health was really good because I was like, oh, I have this singular pursuit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I've gotten YouTube to this point where I can start doing other things. And then it just like floodgates. I'm like, I'm going to do everything because I have this one really consistent thing that I've done well. And now I'm in this process of trying to dial it back. Like, how do you say no to really good opportunities? How do you say no to like fun and experience and those types of things? And I am, as I'm sure you guys know by now, I'm like, if there's something remotely cool, like hey Ken, come out here for like a couple days, we'll try this new thing, whatever it is. I'll be like, yeah. If I don't have anything, sure,
Yeah.
let's do this. And that's probably one of my greatest characteristics, but also the one that like bites me in the ass. And I also kind of think that it works that way for almost everyone. The things that make you really good at something, the things that make you who you are also like the double-edged sword of what get you back. Do you guys have any double-edged swords?
I don't have any swords or weapons,
Well, and metaphorically, where
Well, I guess going along with that, the double-edged sword and with the topic we're talking about, like we all, I think we want to learn something, right? We're trying to grow and expand and trying these new different topics like Discord or whatever it may be, newsletter, and so it just sort of like it detracts us from our overall goal. I guess to answer your first question or whatever of what I try to do and try to focus on is, okay, I want to focus just on YouTube, but we want to grow and you want to get better. And we talked about editing and stuff like that earlier. But I was like, okay, I need to not focus on all these different things. I try to let's focus just on the YouTube videos. But within the YouTube videos, let's see how I can learn and grow with that, whether that be editing techniques, whether that's learning something new skill that I can implement in the videos. So that's, I guess, sort of get into that double-edged sword. It's like, we want to learn and grow, but can you learn and grow in a certain hyper-focused area? And it's hard to do. Like, I mean, maintain and focus, like, I'm sure I have some form of like ADHD of not being able to maintain that, and I think we all struggle with that.
Well, we've talked offline a lot about how, your attention to detail is so good, but that also makes it hard to produce, right?
Yeah.
Because you want it to be perfect, and then once you get it, like before you get it out there, it's really difficult. So I think that's something that, I mean, I don't necessarily face because I'm like, it just has to be good enough, because I'm trying to like less now. I'm more focused on quality. I've released one video in like last month, but like with the podcast, it's like, oh, I make these improvements over the body of work over each episode, and we're like over 100 episodes. I would hope this episode is better than like the second or third one. What about you, Alex?
So I was trying to think of like double-edged swords. I think like really the biggest thing for me is I've always talked about it is just time. Like I just don't have enough time. That's the double-edged sword. Like it's been a saving grace in the fact that I can't do too much, so I've had to really hone in on like one thing and like do it well. But it's a double-edged sword in the fact that I wish I had a lot more time to do a lot more things. So I think it's taken me a long way, but I would love to have more time on my hands to do more things.
What would you do what's the first thing you do if you had more time? Like say when your kids are in college.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna have a lot of time to be like, oh no.
I mean, that's a long way in the future. That's like 16 years.
They're really smart though, I hear. You never know.
Okay, let's say I don't know, like 10 years. What would I do with like my channel or like what do you?
Just in general, like what's the first thing you would do if you had more time?
If I had more time.
If you had an extra 3 hours in the day, what would you do with that?
Oh, just an extra 3 hours. Okay, that's more specific. Extra 3 hours
every single day.
I feel like I would produce more like an extra video a week.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I really do love making the videos. Like I get a thrill out of making them, editing them. So if I could do like another one, do 2 per week, which I tried to do one time and couldn't maintain, I would actually really love that.
What's your favorite part of that video making process? Just like the recording, the scripting, all of it? I know, like Luke and I talked, your favorite part is kind of the editing, right?
Yeah.
My favorite part is the filming.
Yeah. So like you were saying you script. I hardly script anything.
You're like Tina. She doesn't script at all.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, here are the bullet points, like 3 or 4 bullet points of what I want to cover in this time, and I just wing it. But I know, like in my head, I kind of know what I'm going to say. But I hate scripting. So like I can't sit down and write like a full script because then I'm like, wait, I should have said that. So my favorite part is usually like the actual recording. I like the recording process because I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. I can tell by how I'm recording or how it's like filming, like because I can see myself. I'm like, this is going to be a good one.
Well, I look good today.
The edit, well, that too. But I mean, the editing process to me is, again, I'm not good at it. So it's more like, all right, let me edit this real quick, but I'm excited to post it. So like again, it's more like that's just not my skill. That's not where I'm really talented. And so that's not what I look forward to the most.
Interesting. I always find it fascinating. I mean, we had the conversation last time with Tina where it's like we all have very different parts of each process we enjoy. And I also think like out of left field, relating this to data, like under the data umbrella, a lot of us have different enjoyments, like whether it's visualization, whether it's
like I love data cleaning.
Yeah,
most people don't. They're like, dude, data cleaning sucks.
I love data collection.
Yeah, there you go.
And I just like telling people how all the data works. Like that's my favorite part. I love, like in my actual work, the client interactions where I have to take these complex models that we built and explain it to someone who's like doesn't know what a linear regression is.
Yeah, they're like a doctor or something, and they like only know medicine.
That's mostly athletes, but
oh, you're right. Okay, somebody who golfs. No, there's like like one golfer in the world who knows what a linear regression is.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like it's so cool that we all have these different challenges that make it exciting for us. I always do think like if we all just combined into one person, we'd be the sickest content creator because we'd be motivated at every step of that process.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, so that's really all I had. I do have one last question. Who has been the most interesting person for you to meet in the house this week?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just calling you out. You're playing favorites. You made me do it in the beginning. And I completely politicked my way out of it.
Sorry, Alex. Alex, obviously. But Forrest says, no, I'm a fan of his channel. And so I was like always like amazed by his way of just like talking to the camera and like you just get sucked in and it's just like so simple. And so I was like really looking forward to meeting him. And he came up and introduced himself, and then I called him Hunter for some reason, and I'm like, because the Hunter was standing right next to him, and I'm like,
how awkward!
I ruined my first introduction with him.
Oh, he hates me. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Forrest, you want to come in the camera real quick? Just say. So we actually know who he's talking about.
Yeah, and you won't recognize him because he doesn't have his long hair.
His luscious locks. I mean, they're still pretty luscious locks, but
Cut it all off. It'll grow back.
yeah. We also do have Hunter in the house who has very similar beard structure right now.
Yeah, short, little scruff
Yeah,
going on.
exactly.
And what's hilarious is that I get that a lot with people not knowing Hunter and not knowing my older brother who is also named Hunter, which is hilarious. I don't know. I guess Forrest's name is just so close to Hunter as well.
Well, also he was standing right next to you, and I'm like,
Yeah.
But, did your family like have like a thing with the outdoors and wilderness? Hunter, forest?
My dad's name is Barry.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, maybe so.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Although my other brother's name is Kyle.
Dude,
Just
he's-
kick him
I don't know
out.
him,
Kick
but,
him out of the family.
He's the middle child, though, so it makes sense.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They always get the short end of the stick.
Poor guy.
Short end of the stick nature analogy as well. I like that.
Yeah.
Just always thinking in the bush.
You like that?
Too soon.
What about you, Alex?
So honestly, it's been this is my first one. So you guys were at the first one. I missed that one. This is my first one, and this has been like, I don't know, it's really been inspiring just because I've been such in my own silo, like because of like my lifestyle. I don't have time to connect with people. So getting out of that and like being able to connect with people, one has just been incredible. It's been phenomenal. Two, like who specifically? I would say two people. One was Mark. So like Mark and I were just chatting the other day.
Mark Freeman, episode 69.
Yeah. Check
Oh,
like
you have it memorized. The number.
So I,
is it really?
I mentioned him. So he for the anonymous Q&A I did a couple weeks ago, he recommended that to me, so I shouted him out then.
Yeah.
And so it's like very fresh.
Oh,
in my
okay.
Yeah.
mind, but
So Mark and I have one other, but Mark I really connected with because I feel like we had a lot of similar struggles, just like with not just content creation, but like familial and that side of things. So I just felt like I really connected with him on that side. And then I don't want to steal Luke's, but I knew you were excited to watch some of your videos, but you as just like a person have been really great to get to know. And so we were talking last night for like probably like 2-3 hours. And there was so much overlap with like where we want to go, what we're trying to do with our channels, like the type of content we want to create. And I was like, dude, this is amazing. Like this is so similar. Like it's such a similar path. And so I would say Mark and Forrest probably are the two that have been like I've been like really happy that I met them because I didn't really know them that well before. Of course, you guys, but I kind of feel like I know you
right,
guys.
right.
So it's not as exciting. But those are the people I would say.
yeah, well, I think that's something that's really cool is that everyone here, we have something in common already. We have two things in common. So we have in some sense data and in some sense content creation, right? And so there's already a jumping off point. It's not like this completely awkward interaction where nobody has anything to talk about. And I'm a believer. One of my friends, Jeff Lee, we've had this conversation a couple of times about like the types of friends you have. So they're like the first layer is proximity. It's like, oh, I went to school with this guy. Like, oh, it's my friend from college, from grad school, whatever it is, right? And that's like sort of a loose friendship. You're there out of situation. The next is you share an interest with someone. So it's like, oh, we both love surfing together. Great. Or we do jujitsu together. And that's maybe a little bit stronger because you have this like shared activity. And then the next layer is like multiple shared interests. And if you have multiple shared interests, it's a likely scenario that you have some shared values. And shared values are the thing that really like brings people together, that allows you to be part of other people's life and contribute a lot more to each other than just like doing something together. And I think that this scenario where we're all together and we already know we have some shared interests ignites a lot of those conversations around values. And it's really easy to like connect with people more and also provide value to each other in really unique ways. Whether it's like sharing your experiences, sharing where you want to go, those conversations lead to like you guys actually actualizing that in a more effective way because there's some shared view of the world and there's some shared direction. And I just think that that's such a fascinating thing. It's one of the reasons why I get so excited about these is because like, wow, I get to go be around these people that also want to create similar things. I can help them. They can help me. what an awesome thing. And anyone listening, I would encourage you to try to find those scenarios where you are meeting people with shared values so that you can create that sort of magical like force that pushes you towards doing bigger and better things.
Wow.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna run a marathon now. Let's go.
Yeah, and that's super true, because like everyone I've met, you know, like you said, everyone the content. So like the content already kind of like the content and the data brings us together. But I feel like when you're in person, you actually like meeting, it's like I can talk about my life, and they can resonate with that because they're like, if somebody else has kids, I'm like, you get it, like you get the struggle of like having a kid, having a family, having a full-time job, and then doing YouTube. Like there are very few people out there who are in this space who understand that. And so like I've talked about it on a few of my own shows where I'm like, it's really tough, and people are like how do you do that? But you guys get how it's done, like you guys understand it, which again, it's like I can tell people how it's done, but when you experience it, it's just you guys get it, you know. It's just different.
Yeah. The other interesting thing about something like this is time, right? I've had Zoom meetings with all you guys, like, you know, like catch up every couple months, every couple weeks, but you have an hour, right? This, we're around each other for 3-4 days, and you naturally talk, like when you have that Zoom, it's like, oh, we have to get a lot of stuff in. We have to focus on just the important things. I think the like less front and center things, the like ancillary things, like, oh, that's funny, like the actual conversation is what really builds strong connections and what really makes you connect or sprout really good ideas. Because if you're trying to force ideas, if you're trying to be like, oh, we need to brainstorm, we need to be smart in these 30 minutes, it's kind of hard. But when you're around people, the secret sauce gets going, and things just come out of the woodwork in a really unique way.
Yeah.
So make friends. Yeah. Well, with the internet, it's a lot easier now, right? I mean, it can be hard to meet in proximity and do whatever, but I was watching one of those Mr. Beast interviews, and you know, every day he was meeting with this group of people to talk about content creation or to talk about the things they're working on. And in some sense, you're fabricating what we're doing, is that, oh, you're talking every day, you're going to talk about weird stuff, right? It's not all going to be business every day. And to me, like finding ways to meet with groups of people, to get together this is one of the best things I've ever been a part of. That's maybe arrogant because I put them together. But
it's amazing.
I've ever seen, and thanks Bright Data for sponsoring.
Wow. But you know, I mean, in some sense though, that's like I saw this, like so much value in the first one. It's like why I want to do another one, because if I got this value, hopefully other people are getting that. And we talked about me being selfish a little bit this trip, but selfishly, I want to be able to like be a part of that and help others. Yeah. Get that same sort of goal and value too. So, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for coming. Any final words? Of course, follow Alex and Luke on YouTube. Alex the Analyst, Luke Barousse, or as Alex says, Luke Barousse.
Barousse. Yeah, I said it wrong on several different videos that I've made. I kept saying Luke Barousse, and I learned like a couple weeks ago that was Luke Barousse, and it blew my mind. I was like, I feel so bad.
Barousse rhymes with moose.
Yep, that's how he said it to me the first time. Like, oh, easy. G rhymes with P. Oh. All right, well, thank you for tuning in, everyone. Cue the outro.